Okay, guys, I give you instruction in the dressing room. Let's have a clean match, okay? Good luck. Le di la instrucción en el camerino. Vamos a una pelea limpia. Suerte.
So bigger things on the horizon for Yafai, or at least he hopes there will be, but they will all disappear if he cannot successfully defend his title tonight underneath the chandeliers of the Monte Carlo Casino. Gonzales this week has had the demeanour of a man who really feels that he has nothing to lose here. He's got a second opportunity of the year to win a world title, courtesy of that number 14 WBA ranking, and he's just going to come here and give it a crack. Yafai is expected to win. Everybody in boxing really expects him to win this fight, and he says our preparation has been good. As Anna referred to earlier on, he's tried a different weight-making method. He was slightly over on the scales, but said that was just down to a miscalculation. The scales that he was using to check himself, his scales were slightly out, and he was pretty fractional, so by the time he got his boxer shorts off, he made it. He's had a little bit of trouble sleeping the last couple of days, so last night they gave him a massage and a cold magnesium spray, which takes the body temperature down about 0.5 degree, and that sorted that problem out. It's amazing some of the things that they're aware of now in sports science, and Yafai just jabbing to the body there. Gonzales just trying to work around that front foot, keeping moving around the periphery of the ring.
Yeah, just stalking him here, Cal, taking his time, having a look. You know, controlling things from the centre of the ring, looking for the left hook. Decent body shot from Gonzales. With a solid jab from Cal. Nice right hand to the body going in from Gonzales.
That's a shot he seems to be looking for so far. He's gone for that and landed it 2-3 times. Leading off the left hook there, Yafai was made to miss.
Good jab. Gonzales throwing plenty of punches. But Cal controlling things from the centre of the ring, landing the stiffer shots. Gonzales throwing plenty of leather.
It's been a lively enough opening round from the challenger, that's for sure. It's the 4th defence for Yafai. Title won against Luis Concepcion back in Manchester in late 2016 on that Joshua Molina undercard. He's kept hold of it successfully without any scares really since then.
Nice stiff jab there from Cal. And again.
Good jab though from Gonzales, came back in the other direction. Just falling short with the right hand there, Gonzales. Been a decent opening round. Well, that ring will be graced by this man later on, Denis Lebedev, formerly the WBA super champion. Didn't lose that title in the ring through injury, gave it up, and is back tonight looking to try and get back towards the summit of the cruiserweight division. He's given us some wars down the years. Into the second round of this one, scheduled for 12, the WBA super flyweight title on the line, and it's a division that has attracted a lot of attention over the last 2-3 years. Roman Gonzales was the star attraction, then he was ousted by Srisaket Rungvisai. And Nue was in the division for a little while as well. It was given big coverage by HBO, who are out of boxing soon. And Yafai is just wanting that momentum to continue and hoping to ride that wave himself. If he can get the win tonight, then bigger fights, he hopes, will be around the corner. Gonzales, though, showed himself in that first round match to be a capable fighter. Good left hand to the body there and then shot down with the right hand. Decent shots.
Yeah, quick start to Gonzales, very quick, lively opener. And even at the start of this round, he's throwing plenty of leather. Cal, the stronger of the two, holding the centre of the ring, trying to push Gonzales back. But Gonzales boxing well off the ropes and he's putting combinations together, letting both hands go. Nice right hand to the body from Gonzales.
Well, he turned pro young, Gonzales. 21 years old, so been a pro 4 years. It's not unusual, it's pretty typical actually for Mexican fighters. He's got plenty of experience inside that pro ring, and that world title fight he had against Ancajas will have done him a lot of good with a view to tonight.
Yeah, he'll feel that he'll have learnt a lot from that experience. A good right hand from Gonzales. Oh, these are hard, stiff shots. Cal smiles, but they were just above us here. We could feel them. Hear them. They were crisp shots. Good body shots again from Gonzales, really digging them in.
Had the gloves up though, Yafai, for that combination that was launched towards his head by Gonzales, and nothing really got through clean. He's putting quite a lot into this in the opening couple of rounds, Gonzales. Yafai biding his time a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, Cal very solid, very compact, gloves nice and high.
Bit of a slip there from Gonzales as he moved away to his left-hand side. Yafai looking to try and get that jab going.
Good body shot there from Cal, using his experience to cut the ring off and manoeuvre Gonzales to where he wants him.
Decent looking jab there from Gonzales. A couple of single jabs in quick succession. Nice jab from Yafai. It's warming up into a good fight, this. Reaching a little bit with that right hand, Gonzales, but then switches the jab downstairs. He's throwing often enough just to keep Yafai off him. Final few seconds of round 2. Max McCracken in the Yafai corner there. That big swinging left to the body or head is something that he looks for. Put a good right hand off the back of it there, but he dips away to his left-hand side and really lets that go.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fast start from Gonzales, throwing an awful lot of punches, but Cal staying very nice and tight defensively, really having a look at Gonzales, I feel, and I think he thinks, yeah, you might be getting ahead here, but I'm going to catch up with you.
Just inching forward with that front foot there, Yafai. Gonzales keeping that head on the move. Left hand there from Yafai, didn't land quite clean. Gonzales just comes back, Yafai taunting him, dropping his gloves, sticking his chin out.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzales seems to have his tail up a little bit here. He's confident, that's for sure. I think Cal certainly needs to dampen his spirit a little bit.
You just look at Gonzales' face and you can tell he's enjoying himself in there.
I give the opener a 10, scored at 10-10. I gave Gonzales the second. In the third round, he's simply out, being far too busy for Cal. I mean, I do think Cal, he's having a look at him. I think he's going to catch up with him, but he's got to be careful. He doesn't want Gonzales running away with it too much on the cards.
Could maybe be a bit busy with that jab, Yafai. When he does throw it, when he does land it, it's stiff. It has an impact on Gonzales. He's just backing off there, just taking his feet back, working around the outside of the ring. Lead left hook there from Yafai. Decent shot, that landed.
Yeah, good left hook from Yafai. Banked the jab, switched it to the left hook.
Slightly lazy looking jab there from Gonzales, and Yafai was, I think, trying to capitalise on that. He seems to have picked out that lead left hand, that lead left hook as a punch that can land.
Yeah, he's kind of leaning it. He's leaning as if to throw the jab, and at the last minute turns into a long left hook. And again, good shot from Cal.
Looking to try and line up the right hand himself there, Gonzales, but there's not a great deal of power in his punches. Some of the sting seems to have come off them a little bit already, actually. Still nice and busy, though, into the closing stages of this third round.
Yeah, I like the more accurate work from Khalid Yafai in this round, though. Left hook again, landing again.
falling slightly short with the jab. And again. Gamal and Khalid Yafai, younger brothers of Cal. Gamal a pro, of course. Khalid with the GB setup. They've just been out at the European Union Championship, so they picked up a big haul of medals in that round. Towards the end of it, in the second half of that third round, certainly Yafai looked to just assert a little bit more authority. Yafai, of course, very experienced over the 12-round distance, won the title over 12 rounds, went the full 12 against Sho Ishida and Suguru Muranaka as well in his first couple of defences.
This is a better start to the round from Khalid Yafai than the previous rounds. He's come out, he's took the centre of the ring. He's jabbing, going up and down with the jab, head and body. Tried to turn into a left hook there, but Gonzales seen it coming, got underneath it.
Just touching with that left hand there, Gonzales. Keeping that head on the move. Yafai just stepping into that space that he's being given, pushes Gonzales back towards the ropes. It's interesting this, because you get the feeling watching it that Yafai feels really that he could probably walk through Gonzales, but Gonzales is good enough that he's not going to try and do it.
Yeah, no, I think he has to be. He's going about the job well here, Cal. Cal's a very intelligent fighter. He's a thinking fighter. He doesn't get reckless. I know last time out he stood his ground and he went toe-to-toe a little bit, and he sat in the pocket and traded off. But he obviously felt when he was in, oh, these good shots from Gonzales.
Nice combination, left followed by the right hand. He tucked up there, Yafai, but the right hand got through round the back of the guard, and I think that's exactly why Yafai cannot afford to be too gung-ho here. He isn't being, but that's exactly why.
Yeah, no, he has to respect Gonzales. Gonzales, world-class fighter, fought for a world title before, went 10 rounds with Ancajas, landing a good jab there against Yafai. And then when he lets his hands go, he's got good hand speed, Gonzales. And Cal, very much a thinking fighter, likes to take his time. Like I said, last time out, he stood in the pocket and went to war a little bit, but generally, he likes to set things up, take his time, get his jab going, go up and down, body and head with the jab, and that's what he's doing here.
But he's keeping the pressure on Gonzales, isn't he? He's cutting off the ring, and Gonzales is turning southpaw now for the first time in the fight. Not for very long.
Good right hand there from Khalid Yafai.
Didn't quite land full, but you saw the sweat just spray up off the head there of Gonzales. Tight guard from Yafai, and then looks to leap into that lead left hook.
Just short with the left hook there, you can see what he was trying to do.
Well, Gonzales, quick walk back to the corner there, backstage. Michael Hunter getting his hands racked, and had a good, interesting chat with him yesterday. Trained now by Hasim Rahman, those two know each other very well. Him and Rahman's sons are like brothers. He lost his own father when he was about 18. He was also a professional fighter, and he very much wants to live up to being the kind of man that his father was. And tonight he's up against somebody who's got a massive size and weight advantage on him. Now, Ustinov, 20 stone, 6'7", who's a sniper in the army, he's been telling us this week. And I'm not a military tactical expert, but generally I thought snipers would be smaller lads you could kind of stick up trees, but Alexander Ustinov certainly doesn't fit into that mould. And he's all business there by the look of him. Good record, 34-2, fought Manuel Char for the WBA regular title not that long ago. I think that one could be very, very entertaining. And this one is nicely poised. He made a good start, Gonzales. Yafai is bit by bit just looking to ramp things up a bit, and it's getting slightly harder, just incrementally, for Gonzales to keep him off and keep those feet moving and keep that work rate as high as he needs to keep it.
I like the body shots from Gonzales, though. That straight right hand, he keeps digging them in. And, you know, Khalid Yafai, we know he came a little over, and he is big at the weight. You can see he looks, upper body-wise, he looks huge compared to Gonzales. And I know he's struggled at times to come down. He's a big guy, really. And you wonder, Gonzales keeps putting him, you say keep putting them in the bank, keep putting them in the bank, keep landing the body shots, he'll take the legs away as the fight develops. But, I mean, Cal, in 12 rounds many times, paces it really well. So we don't expect him to die a death or anything like that, but Gonzales working the body well here.
Again, looking for the double jab there, Gonzales. Landed the first, didn't land the second, and both of them just a little bit too close. The heads rubbing on the inside as they fell into a clinch. Separated by Luis Pavon. Still a very interesting division, super flyweight. The WBO title is contested on New Year's Eve. Kazuto Ioka and Donny Nietes still running beside the WBC champion and Carhas with the IBF. There's still a lot of noise around it. Roman Gonzales is still in there too. He's at 6 with the WBA. Good body shots there from Gonzales, but he dropped the elbows on them there, Yafai.
I mean, he's got good hand speed, Gonzales. When he does put the shots together, he lets them go and goes head, body, 4, 5, 6 punch combos. He has got good hand speed. You know, Cal's accuracy not quite there in this round.
Just blinking his left eye. I think there's a cut on the left eye there. And the referee has stopped the fight momentarily, and he's going to go over to the corner there. I think the referee's motioning that was a clash of heads. And the doctor is going to be summoned to have a look at this. It's on the corner of the eye. It doesn't, well, it's hard to say at this point. We're not quite close enough to it. It looks quite long. I'm not sure how deep it is. It's not dissimilar to Frank Buglioni's. Not dissimilar to Buglioni's, and that's a bad one, another bad one.
That's a bad cut.
Well, the doctor's had a very close look at one of these already tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a world title fight. You'd imagine the ref will want to give him every possible chance.
Well, referee saying that was from a clash of heads, and we've completed 4 rounds. So were this to be stopped now due to that cut, we would go to the scorecards, and that could be bad news for Khalid Yafai.
I think it'd be very close on the cards. I mean, a good straight right hand to the body there from Gonzales. That's been a great punch for him so far in this fight.
That lead left hook there from Yafai, though, found the target, and this is really, really interesting because the corner will have picked up on the referee saying that was a clash of heads. The corner may well feel that Yafai is certainly, well, maybe behind on the cards. They'll certainly feel that it's close. I don't see how they could think it was any other way. They're not panicking that corner, but a bit of concern.
I mean, there's certainly urgency. You can see urgency from both men, really. They'll know that the fight will get stopped if it goes to the scorecards. If it does get stopped because of the cut, because of the clash of heads,
left hand there from Yafai, and he just almost took a seat on the bottom rope there, Gonzales, and Yafai looking to get on the front foot at the end of the round because he knows, he's been around this a long time, he knows if this gets stopped from a clash of heads and it goes to the cards, currently it's tight. Well, let's have a look and see if we can figure out where this came. Well, there in came the head, and that must have been it. Straight into the corner of the left eye. That definitely was it. Yeah, and the referee's correct.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the ref, good call. And like you say, I mean, if this fight was to get stopped in this next round, it went to the scorecards, it'd be very close.
Well, you've got it level, I think. I'm just peering over your shoulder there. You've got it level. First round level, and then 2, 3, 4, and 5, 2 each. So that's the current state of play, and they're doing everything they can for the cut in the corner there. But it just gives this an interesting dynamic when something like this happens, because he knows that this is in the balance. Should it be stopped and go to the cards, and he's got to stamp his authority on this fight, and he's got to do it now. Yeah, I mean, Cal's likes to take his time. He's almost a bit of a perfectionist, really, but I think now he has to put his foot on the gas a little bit, up the work rate, really stamp his authority, start dictating things, and you know, he has to make sure he wins every round now, you know, because if this fight is to get stopped, and it is a bad cut, you could see it getting stopped, then they will go to the scorecards. And right now, I've got it very close. I've got it bang on equal, as you say, and well, so many things can happen inside that ring, things that you do not expect. Tactical adjustments that need to be made. Good combination again there from Gonzales, but the gloves are up from Yafai. Looking to lead with that left hand again, this time to the body. But Gonzales is still throwing plenty.
Good right hand from Gonzales, straight down the middle.
Solid, just caught Yafai on the way in. We could see the sweat fly off ahead, and there's no sign, certainly, nor should there be at this stage, of Gonzales' tank emptying.
No, and he's throwing good right hands to the body.
Trying to get on the jab there, Yafai again, quickly over to his right-hand side to try and cut the ring off. Gonzales falling short with the right hand. Nice right to the body there from Five.
Good body shot from Cal. Went up to the head, then switched to the body. Really good left hook to the body there. And a good stiff jab. This is better from Yafai.
It'd be good to see him busy with that jab, because every now and again you just get the feeling that he's waiting a little bit too long, and when he does, Gonzales gets stuck in.
Yeah, like I say, sometimes Cal's a little bit too much of a perfectionist. Waits that little bit too long. That's better from him though. Letting his hands go more here now. Good body shot from Yafai.
Into the final minute of the round. And this is a tight one again.
Good right hand from Gonzales.
Second time he's landed that in the round.
And some good body shots going in also from him.
Well, they've done a good job on that cut. Either that or Yafai hasn't managed to land on it, because it really hasn't opened up any more at all so far in this round, at least anyway.
I mean, it's been a good round from Yafai in patches, but then Gonzales lands probably the two best right hands of the round, and some good body shots of his own.
Just throwing that jab, Yafai slipped over the left shoulder of Gonzales. He generally does look to kind of list away to his right-hand side. That's the side he favours. Final few seconds of the round, jab to the body for Yafai. It's an interesting fight, this. It's still very evenly, delicately poised.
Yeah, there's some good body work. There's that good left hook to the body, right behind the elbow. I mean, that was probably, for large periods of that round, that was probably Yafai's best round, but then you see good right hand from Gonzales there, and there was another right hand he landed in the round. Really good shots.
Well, Adam Booth at ringside, he used to live around here, used to reside in this neck of the woods. So I've just been reading Andy Lee's book, and they came down here for a camp. I think it was before his fight against Matt Korobov. Richard Towers over there as well. Jamie Moore on the far side of the ring, who was voted British Boxing Board of Control Trainer of the Year a few weeks back. So, unsurprisingly, this is a trip that a few people fancy. For Yafai, though, it is all about work, it's all about business. And he's in the live one here. So into the second half of the fight, Khalid Yafai, the reigning and defending WBA super flyweight champion in the white and gold. Israel Gonzales, who's challenging for a world title for the second time this year, having fallen short against Juan Carhas for the IBF in February. He's in the black. And there's that combination, finishing with that right hand upstairs.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a decent round from Cal in the last one. Landed some really good stuff, particularly left hooks to the body. But Gonzales also had his moments. He drilled a couple of really good, accurate, hard, stiff right hands right down the middle on Yafai. He's come out in this round, he's looking for that right hand again.
Bit of tape just dangling from the right wrist there of Gonzales. Wouldn't be surprised if the referee nips in and gets that sorted out.
Good body shot from Gonzales. Partially blocked from Yafai, but it's kind of half a bit creeped behind the elbow.
There's that right hand, that chopping right hand. It's a good shot for him, Gonzales. It's delivered from a quite unorthodox angle at times. It's quite wide around the shoulders and rangy.
Yeah, and he throws that left hook, throws it really long, really leans in and gets it right behind the elbow.
Yafai trying to lean in himself there, just got a bit too close, landed the first left hand and then just shut down the space, smothered the second one. slipped the jab
Good
well
left
there,
hook.
Yafai, to get into range. And now looks to try and get stuck in with a left hand to the body and upstairs. And well, that was a good left hand on the inside. There wasn't any clear instruction from the referee there, so he's right to box on. There's that combination, left hand to the body and then that strafing right hand.
Yeah, he throws that long right hand and that long left hook and then comes back with the right hand, almost Eric Morales-esque, you know, throws it really long. You can certainly see there's more urgency coming from Yafai now. You know, rough housing when they get close. Trying to punch on the inside.
Just touching with the left hand there, Gonzales. Both of them just waiting there, looking for a way in. Shuffling forward with that front foot there, Yafai closing that gap if he can, but every time he does that and then doesn't throw or takes a little bit too long, Gonzales has got something.
Look at that left hook, head and body combination against Yafai.
Bit of blood just coming from that cut. It's a pretty remarkable job the corner have done with it. I'm amazed that there's not more. Clapper goes. Final few seconds of the round. Yafai trying to tee up that right hand maybe. Eats a jab on his way in. Let's go down to ringside. Andy Scott is with Dave Caldwell.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. Dave, the guys at ringside have got it close. How have you got it?
I've got it level. I've got it level now, and I think Cal, the last couple of rounds, has started to land a little bit more meteor shots, turning up the tempo a little bit. I think he's waiting a little bit too much. It's almost like he's waiting for the precise shots. He's not letting the jab flow. A lot of Cal's work, especially the left up to the body and the left hand work in general, comes off his jab. You know, he pulls off it, tries that job, the spot underneath. He gets his right hand off, but he's walking forward, waiting. The other guy, Gonzales, is just picking him off and out hustling him. I think he needs to let it flow more. I don't know if you know, if you're struggling with the weight a little bit, you tend to just reserve your energy levels a little bit more. And he's fighting like that, as though he's worrying about not gassing out. Now he seems to be seeing the edge of the fight and going a little bit more often.
Thanks, Dave.
It's interesting from Dave. He did miss the weight at the first attempt yesterday, and he's never going to come out and say that it's because he's struggling at the weight. I mean, nobody would ever say that. He's always going to say exactly what he said to us, which was that it was a miscalculation, an accident with the scales. But he's right what he says there. He has been a little bit, not hesitant exactly, but...
No, at times he's waiting too long. You know, like I was putting it down to being a perfectionist. He's waiting for the perfect shot, the perfect opportunity to get into the perfect position. Sometimes you just got to let your hands go. You're waiting too long. First, you know, you can hear people shouting it. And, you know, at times, because he's hesitating, he's waiting, Gonzales is just letting his hands go and he's beating him to the punch. He's getting off first and then he's moving out of range. But I do think Cal has come right back into the fight. I think, and when I say the rounds early on when Gonzales was top, they were close rounds. Cal was probably landing the better shots, but Gonzales was landing more of them. But, you know, I think Cal has kind of got himself back in the driving seat, but just got to be careful. Gonzales throws that right hand, got good hand speed, looks for the long left hook to the body as well. And he's certainly lively in there.
I think the corner are asking Yafai for a jab to the chest, and it's always a much underrated shot, but in this particular scenario, it would be a good one. Good left hook there from Yafai, because if he can just touch him, just hit him, just move him, knock him off balance. Doesn't need long, Gonzales, does he, just to set his feet and throw, because as you say, his hands are quick.
Yeah, he's got good hand speed, he throws them, puts them together really well, 3, 4, 5 punch combination bursts, and then gets on his toes.
Did throw the left hand eventually there, Yafai, but that was quite a good example. He just shuffled into range, he was ready to go, and he just seemed a little bit tight, then did throw the left to the body. Gonzales one, on the other hand, is loose.
Yeah, sometimes he's just waiting that bit too long, almost hesitating. He gets into a position, gets his feet set, and then he just hesitates for that split second too long, and it allows Gonzales to get off with his shots first and move away. That's better from Cal, jabbing the body, good jabs to the body, good left hook.
The look of the fight is important to some judges, though, and he has been on the front foot, Yafai. He's been holding the centre of the ring. He's been the man coming forward. Good jab, and then followed by the right hand.
Yeah, and he's been the more accurate puncher. He's landed the better shots, the cleaner shots.
Solid looking left to the body there. From Yafai again, he's looking for that left, and tape coming loose from the left wrist now of Gonzales, and maybe the referee should intervene here and get something done about that. Bell goes at the end of the round, and we've seen some good body work from Gonzales. We've seen good variety, but we've definitely seen some good body work, and if Yafai has had a little bit of a struggle at the weight, then they could take their toll as you head down the stretch.
Yeah, well, you know, coming out here now, round 9, this is where you'd expect if the weight has troubled Cal, it's been a problem for him, then this is where it's going to start taking its toll. Gonzales has landed many good body shots in the fight, particularly the straight right hand, and also he leans over and throws that left hook quite long in behind the elbow of Yafai. So, like I say, here we might see some replays of it, but Gonzales comes out, throws good combinations, the straight right hand to the body, there we see it, and almost like a left uppercut to the pit of the stomach as well. Again, another straight right hand to the body, partially blocked there from Khalid Yafai, and he kind of got out of the way, but that was a good left hook, that certainly landed. So he has been putting good body shots in the bank here, and it's been a fair old pace as well. So if it has been a problem for Khalid Yafai to make the weight, this is where it will start taking its toll.
So Luis Pabon just going to get that tape trimmed off, make sure that's nice and secure as we head into these final rounds, the final third of the fight. This really is the business end. That right-hand side of the ring there, those seats there, that's where the really important people sit. You can tell, can't you, because they've got the kind of really nice white seat covers. Michael Buffer there, just sat watching yet another fight. You've seen plenty of these down the years. Prince Albert was the gentleman he was conversing with. So into the 9th round. Just pecking with the left hand there, Gonzales. Yafai comes in with a jab to the body.
Yep, 2 good jabs to the body there from Yafai. I wonder, is he trying to set the right hand up then to the head? I'd like to see him bring that right hand over the top. Jab the... Oh, good left hook from Yafai.
Big lead left hand there from Khalid Yafai, but he took it well there, Gonzales. He's always been looking for that punch, Yafai, from about 3 rounds in, leading off with the left hook.
Yeah,
good, high on the head.
Good left hook from Yafai, another good left hook from him, but Gonzales came firing back.
He's always had enough snap, enough pop to keep Yafai off in Gonzales. When he's walked in with those gloves held high, Yafai, maybe sometimes not with all that much head movement. Gonzales has taken that little step back when he's needed to and got enough on his punches to stop Yafai in his tracks, basically. He's never really hurt him. Yeah, there's that right hand again.
Yeah, right hand, but I do like the defences of Khalid Yafai. He keeps them nice and high and blocks most of them. Yeah, a few are getting through. Gonzales throwing plenty of leather and has good hand speed.
Just took a step to his left-hand side there, Yafai. Try and change the angle. Working around the clock face there, seeing if he can just find a way in.
Good right hand from Yafai. Just kind of feinted the jab, straight right hand. Not a lot of power in it, but just good accuracy.
Again, looking to lead off with that left hand. It's quite a risky punch. It's quite a dangerous punch to go for, but he's obviously seen something from quite early, and he has landed it too.
Yeah, I think it's just a shot that he likes throwing. It's part of his arsenal, but he's been putting a lot of jabs to the body in Cal. I'd like to see him switch the attack, bring the right hand to the head in after the jab to the body. I think that Gonzales is there for it. Yeah, I'd like to see a couple more jabs and then bring the right hand in over the top. You know, he's moving to his left, he's circling, the right hand to the head is there.
Still looks nice and light on those feet though, Gonzales. Obviously in good shape. Left hand, good left hand as Yafai was coming forward there from Gonzales. Yafai landing the left to the body himself, and then the two just falling into a clinch on the ropes over on the far side. A good combination there from Gonzales, ticking up towards the end of the round, and it's a difficult viewing for a couple of people at ringside. The two brothers, and Gamal is with Andy Scott.
Gamal, how are you scoring this fight so far?
I think I've got him 3 up, Cal, 3-4 up, but it's a close fight. So I think Cal will get the next 3 rounds. Yeah.
What have you made of Gonzales' performance? Is it what you expected?
Yeah, I knew it'd be a tough test for Cal. He's only lost to the top kids in the division, so yeah, I expected a tough fight. Maybe not as hard as this, but yeah.
What do you think Max will be saying?
Max will be telling him to get up the gears now. It's time now to all out, get him out of there.
You're here with your brother. Are you good watchers or are you nervous watchers? You're smiling, but is it a nervous smile?
I'm a bit nervous, but you know, it is what it is.
Thanks very much. I'll let you get back.
Well, his scorecard there, Gamal, he's got him 3 rounds up. That's pretty much in line with what you've got now.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it 6-2, 1 even, so, you know, 4 up, could be 3 up, but I've got him 4 rounds up. I think he's in charge again now. But can't afford to switch off because Gonzales is lively, always comes back.
Well, 9 minutes, let's work, says Eddie Hearn over on the far side of the ring. That's one of the unusual things about watching boxing in this setting, is you can hear individual voices from ringside. Left hand landed there by Gonzales just as Yafai was throwing his own left. Again, climbing into a left hand to the body there, Yafai. Max McCracken just saying to him, you've got to keep moving your head on the way in, which is maybe something he's been slightly guilty of not doing so far. Right hand there from Yafai.
I like the way Cal, when there's nothing happening, he just puts that jab into the body. You know, just rather than sitting there waiting, just keep jabbing the body. I do feel, though, that if he was to add the right hand upstairs after the jab to the body, I do feel Gonzales is there for a good body shot from Gonzales. Really good body shot. I think that hurt, Cal.
Well, that was a really accurate, sweet punch there from Gonzales, who I think he was angry at the fact that he felt Yafai came in low with the head, which he did, because we got a good view of it. The referee didn't say anything to him, so he really let his hands go there. And I think you're right. I think one of those lefts just had a little bit of an effect, and this one warming up now. Yafai looking to try and just swarm forward himself.
Yeah, Yafai being quite bullish now, really using his physical strength to push forward and put the heat on Gonzales. It was a good body shot from Gonzales. I thought it took the wind away from Yafai momentarily, but fair play to Cal. Yafai came firing back.
Good jab, nice strong jab, right above us. And looking for that left hand again, and he just managed to slip underneath it there, Gonzales. Just finds such a good angle for that left hand to the body. Sometimes he throws it really long round the back. Other times he dips so low, he almost gets it
good left hook
up
there
inside the elbow.
Gonzales wanted to hold there for one of the first times in the fight that we've seen him do that. Normally he comes firing back with his own punches or he moves, but he was quick to grab Yafai there. I think that left hook buzzed him. Good left hook from Yafai here, doubling up, head and body.
All off the back of the jab. Good jab to start it all off. And then went with that left to the body, something he's been targeting too throughout the fight.
Good stiff jab from Khalid Yafai.
And he's just looking to get on his bike a bit here, Gonzales, and that's the first time he's really done that.
Yeah, he's under the cosh a bit here, feeling the pace. I think the strength, physical strength in Yafai is giving Gonzales problems. Now he's struggling to keep him off.
Well, he's always been fighting in bursts, but there's something just a little bit more ragged about those bursts now.
Yeah, and there's a more sustained pressure here from Yafai. Still thoughtful, still not wasting his punches, still thinking about it, but more consistent, more sustained pressure from Yafai.
Head forward.
Just shaking his left-hand side, left hand every now and again. Let's get in the corner and have a listen, though.
Just don't walk in, Punch away, punch away. Can't let your hands go when you're in close. Half a step back and whip him off. You know when he tries to hold you? He's strong on the inside and whip him off. Right side. Work them ankles, Cal, so he don't hold you. He can't hold you. Don't follow him. Don't follow him. You have to cut him off. Keep cutting him off. Keep cutting him off. Punch when you're in range. Good job. Look, times in the round there where you let him nick things. Don't let him nick things.
It's really simple stuff, that, for Max McCracken, but it's absolutely bang on. Don't follow him around, cut him off, and when you get in range, let your hands go.
Yeah, I mean, good work here from Yafai. Real stiff jab, knocked him back to the ropes, then went doubling up on the left hook to the body, switching sides, going to the right side as well. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing, you don't have to complicate things here. Do what you're doing. Keep backing him up behind the jab. When you back him up onto the ropes, go to the body, double things up, go head and body. Gonzales quick out of the blocks again, letting both right hands go in, head and body.
As he generally has been at the start of rounds. The reason I mentioned Yafai just shaking that left hand out a little bit is that he's had swollen hands after fights against Ishida, Runaka when he won the title against Concepcion, 12-round fights.
Yeah, this is where we're in the phase of the fight now. I think the physical strength of Yafai is starting to take its toll. You know, as fatigue's kicking in a little bit, he's starting to feel the pace, Gonzales. You know, things are slowing down a little bit. That physical strength, that size of Yafai is starting to be a big advantage for Khalid Yafai now. He's, Gonzales looking for the openings here, but Cal just keeping his hands nice and high, walking forward. Good stiff jab from him.
Gonzales again looking for that right hand. Still working hard, still throwing plenty, just a slightly ragged look about him on occasion, but not too much.
Good right hand from Gonzales.
Well, he's landed that plenty of times. It's never really hurt Yafai or brought any particular reaction from him, but it's a solid shot that is easy to see. As is that, though, those lefts to the body there from Khalid Yafai.
Yeah, both guys having their moments here, trading off. Good jab to the body from Gonzales.
He's having a good round here, just when we thought he might be beginning to wilt and summon something up from somewhere. There's plenty left in the round yet, but he certainly had his say. Yafai with a left to the body, Gonzales just throws back.
Yeah, well, I think Gonzales needs a big round. I haven't given him a round since the 4th round, you know, we're into the... So I think he really needs to... He probably feels he needs to come out and turn things around a little bit, but... Yafai well ahead now. Well ahead and well in charge.
Just got a really good look at that cut that he was on the ropes above us, and I don't know how that hasn't bled more, I really don't.
Good jab to the body from Yafai, good body work from him. Just falling on top of himself a little bit there, smothering himself. But again, the physical strength of Yafai really becoming a factor now.
Turning southpaw there, Gonzales. He's had a decent round here, switches back. Good combination to finish the round there for Gonzales, and just roars out at us at ringside. And, well, as we head into the final stages, there have been a lot of close rounds in this fight. That cannot be disputed. You've got him up, Matt. Gamal, of course, Gamal had him up, but there have been a lot of close rounds in there.
Yeah, I've got him up now. I've got him 7 rounds to 3, 1 even. But, you know, there were 2 of those rounds were very, very close, and if you'd have gone the other way, then you'd have it level now. So, you know, it's I've got Cal winning, but yeah, I wouldn't argue if someone had it a little closer.
Well, just a couple of rounds remaining at the Monte Carlo Casino, and this one for Khalid Yafai has maybe been a bit tougher than he expected so far. He knew that he had to come here and get the win. He knows that hopefully the unification's around the corner. Roman Gonzales still a massive name in the division, and there's no possible way he would have been taking this lightly. That's just not what professionals do. But as we head into the 12th and final round, nothing is decided here, nothing is certain.
No, well, I thought Gonzales started really well, then I felt that kind of the middle rounds, Khalid Yafai got back in charge, took over, got back in charge of the fight, started bossing things a little bit, and then last couple of rounds, Gonzales has come back a little bit. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to know what the cards are here. But, you know, I think Cal's ahead. I've certainly got him ahead on my card. Good right hand from Gonzales.
Again, he just slung that up from the waist.
I mean, you've got to like the hand speed and of Gonzales and the work rate and the volume of punches, but I think the quality punching, the stiffer shots, the more accurate shots generally have become from Yafai. I think he's bossed things from the centre of the ring. He's landed some really good, stiff, hard jabs, some good body shots.
Gonzales maybe a bit more eye-catching, though, at times.
Yeah, I mean, he has done some eye-catchy, flashy combinations. He puts them together, but he fights in bursts. I think the more sustained, effective work has come from Yafai.
Well, he was just switching stance there, Gonzales. Yafai came in and the heads almost came together. And Gonzales just saying that Yafai put him around the back of the head. I don't think he did, really. The referee calls a timeout, and again, there's more tape coming loose from the wrist of the glove. So both of these two fighters now will have the opportunity to have a little bit of a rest before they summon it all up to go as hard as they can until the final bell. And I think he would have learned a lot from that fight against Ancajas. It wasn't a great performance by him, to be honest. Ancajas bossed it and then stopped him with a couple of rounds to go. But when you've been to the dance once before, you just know more what to expect during fight week and with everything, really.
Yeah, and he'll feel that, all right, I fought this level, I was found once and I wasn't quite there, but I can learn from this, I can come back, and next time round, I'll be a lot better equipped. And good right hand from Yafai, really good shot from Cal. But Gonzales comes back with a 1-2 of his own.
Well, that's what he's always done. He's been first to lead off on a lot of occasions, but when Yafai's landed, he's always had something to say about it. He's always had an answer. He's not allowed himself to be ground down and put under really concerted, damaging pressure. He's just blinking his left eye a bit there, Yafai.
Good body shot there from Gonzales.
So final stage is looming, and I don't think either one of these two will be particularly confident when that bell goes.
Well, it's been a close fight. I think Yafai's done enough, though. Certainly on my card, I've got him winning the fight. It's been a tough, hard, close fight. Gonzales never been overawed at any stage of the fight. Always comes back. Landed great straight right hands down the middle. Lots of straight rights to the body also. But I think the quality, more accurate, heavier punching has generally been from Yafai. I think he's generally bossed things from the centre of the ring. And for me, I have been doing enough here to win this fight in a close one.
Yafai with a jab to the body, final few seconds, he's popping out that left hand himself there, Gonzales. Yafai coming in with a right hand over the top. And that will pretty much be that, just cantering across the ring again there. Yafai, bell goes, and both fighters, as you would expect, claim victory. Gonzales embarking on a victory lap. Khalid Yafai going over to the far side, maybe just to have a quick chat with Eddie Hearn and see how he had it. It is close, without a doubt it is close, because there were lots of close rounds in there. Gonzales, I thought, often did do the more eye-catching work. He did fight in bursts. Yafai was more on the front foot. That kind of dynamic does count with judges often. It was a good fight. It was a good fight to watch. Thankfully, that cut just didn't have an impact at all. It really looked like it would, because it was horrible. It's deep and wide, just under the eyebrow, above the eyelid, but really nothing else came out of it. And you've got it 116, 113 in the end there, Matt, and a couple of other rounds that maybe could have gone the other way, but you call it as you see it. That's all you can do.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's how I've got it. 116, 113. I thought Cal was held the centre of the ring. He landed some good stiff jabs, good body work. You know, he was more economical. Certainly the work rate and flashy combinations of Gonzales. He certainly had his moments, certainly won rounds of the fight. There was a couple of rounds that were very close, probably could have gone either way. So, you know, if you go the other way twice on my car, all of a sudden, you know, you've got a 2-round swing there, and it's you score the fight in favour of Gonzales. But for me, I have Cal winning the fight.
Well, it's an anxious wait. It is an anxious wait. He comes over to ringside here. Khalid Yafai is just looking to try and canvass a bit of opinion as David Diamante just gets hold of those scorecards and gives them a good, long, cold, hard look. The final one just handed to him by the ringside supervisor. The fight has been called to the centre. He's not quite ready yet. Well, he is ready. Let's get over to David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action here in Monaco, we go to the judges' scorecards. Giuseppe Quarterone, 117 to 111. Gustavo Padilla and Jean-Robert Lane both scored the bout 116 to 112. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated and still
Khalid Yafai gets it, 117, 111 and 116, 112 twice, so 116, 112 is 8 rounds to 4, 117, 111 is 9 rounds to 3, and I have some sympathy there with Gonzales, who in disgust has run straight out of the ring. 117, 111 for me is too wide, 116, 112. I can see that, because if you give close rounds to Yafai, the closer rounds to Yafai, then you can end up